Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well and you've had a fantastic week this week. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times. And today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. And I'm going to be honest with you, this week was quite quiet for me. Even though there was a lot of albums that dropped, a lot of them just didn't hit the mark with me. Some of them were enjoyable at the time, but were albums that I wouldn't necessarily return to. So like I said, it's been quite a quiet week and I only have 4 albums to talk about. However, judging by my very intimidating inbox, I will definitely be making up for that next week because the Halloween drops are huge in numbers. I know I have probably just cursed myself by saying it's quite quiet this week, but I am chaos incarnate. So bring it on. Anyway, I have 4 albums that I want to talk about, so let's jump straight into these. Okay, so first up on today's list, of course, I have the mighty Soulfly with Kama, and this is the 13th studio album from the groove metal band from the US. Now, Max Cavalera has returned with another groove-heavy album infused with a lot of tribal elements and death metal influences. Now, this album is incredibly aggressive, full of catchy hooks, lots of layers, and high energy. It's thunderous in nature with a lot of primal atmosphere and furious guitar riffs. The guitars in this are screaming, they're frantic, and the drums are thunderous. They just roar right through you. There's loads of guest appearances on this album, including Ben Cook from No Warning, Gabriel Franco from Unto Others. You also have Todd Jones from Nails, Michael Anna of Arch Enemy, and of course Dino Cazares of Fear Factory. And you can definitely hear their influences on the songs. Now, even though this is an incredibly aggressive and intense album, it's a lot of fun to listen to, and it's definitely going to hook you in. So if you are a fan of the likes of Machine Head, Fear Factory, Lamb of God, this one is definitely for you. Definitely check this one out. I've been a fan of Soulfly for a very long time, and this album I absolutely loved. Definitely check it out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have Scorching Tomb with Ossuary, and this is the debut album from the death metal band from Canada. Now, this is old school death metal with a bit of a hardcore edge to it. It's got huge chugging riffs, blast beats that are incredibly thunderous, pummeling bass lines, and guttural growls that are incredibly powerful and sinister. This album is completely unrelenting and it will pummel you into submission. But underneath all of that is a very heavy, nasty foundation of groove. There's loads of mid-tempo stompy stomps in this. It's incredibly addictive, but it is so crushingly heavy. If you've followed this channel for a little while now, you'll know that I love my death metal with a lot of groove and a lot of mid-tempo stompy stomp moments. That is exactly what you get with this. Plus, it also features guest spots from Sanguisugabog and Primal Horde, so there's a lot of groove, there's a lot of aggression, and it is incredibly heavy. This is a solid 28-minute slab of knuckle-dragging, trudging, incredibly savage death metal, and I absolutely loved it. So if you are a fan of the likes of Sanguisugabog, Primal Horde, or Cryptopsy, this one is definitely for you. But definitely check it out. This is full of nasty riffs, heavy groove, and a lot of energy. Definitely check it out. Okay, so next up I have Cemetery Moon with Dominion of Ashes. And this is the second studio album from the black metal band from the US. Now, this album is quite diverse underneath the black metal umbrella with various moods and tones, but one thing that is prevalent throughout is the sheer aggression of black metal. Now, some tracks are more straight up black metal, but then other tracks incorporate a lot of dense melodics, haunting atmosphere, and progressive moments with a slight touch of death metal throughout as well. Flurries of tremolo picking, screaming solos, incredible blast beats, and pummeling bass lines with venomous rasps and screams that are incredibly powerful. There's something very bleak and cold about this album, but it's also quite captivating and catchy. I got completely lost listening to this album and I found it highly addictive. So if you are a fan of the likes of Spectral Wound, Migwa, and Black Braid, this one is definitely for you, plus that album artwork is absolutely stunning. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so last up on today's list, but certainly by no means least, I have Remina with The Silver Sea. And this is the second studio album from the atmospheric gothic doom metal band from New Zealand. Now, any words that I use to try and describe this album is not going to do it justice whatsoever. You need to listen to this. This is stunning. This is a sprawling, deeply atmospheric, fully captivating album full of crushing doom metal, really dense melodics, soaring, ethereal, otherworldly, atmospheric moments, and a lot of really cool sci-fi synths. This album is full of depth and layers. The doom metal element is crushing and swaying. The melodics are incredibly heavy but captivating and intoxicating, but it's the vocal style that really grabbed my attention on this. The female vocals in this album are soaring, they're otherworldly, and they're hauntingly powerful and beautiful. They echo and they really add to that dynamic atmosphere created by the keyboards. There's a couple of guest spots in this album, including Mick Moss from Antimatter and Tony Dunn of Skal, which definitely adds a whole other dynamic to the album, and you can certainly hear their influence on the tracks. This album is equal parts enchanting and flowing, but crushingly heavy, with a lot of sprawling doom gothic elements and really cool synthy moments. So if you are a fan of the likes of Mesa, Draconian, with a little bit of Murker and the Birthday Massacre in there, this one is definitely for you. I got completely lost listening to this album. It completely sucked me in and I found it intoxicating and highly addictive. Definitely check this one out. And that's it for this week's very short New Metal Monday, which I'm very surprised about because I call this month the month of doom for a reason, and that's because we get inundated with new releases. And even though a lot of albums did drop last Friday, it was really just these 4 that I discovered that really hit the mark with me. Also, just to let you guys know, I will be releasing the next episode of Submission Spotlight this coming Thursday. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically I try to give a very small platform to up-and-coming bands, regardless of whether they're signed or independent in the metal sphere. So if you would like to submit your work to Submission Spotlight to be featured on one of these videos, all of the information on how to do so will be in the description box below. It has come to my attention that my automatic email that I set up for Submission Spotlight, just to let you guys know that I've received your email, hasn't been going out. So after this video, I will be doing that manually, and then I'll go in and try and figure out what happened there so it can be automatic going forward. So if you haven't heard from me, I am so sorry. As far as I was aware, they were going out, but it's been brought to my attention that they have not. So I'm not ignoring anybody. I just wasn't aware. So I'm very sorry about that. If you have any of your own recommendations for this week's releases, pop them in the comments section below and I will definitely get them checked out, and let me know what you think of the list that I created for today as well. If you want to follow me on social media, all of my social media handles are in the description box as well. And if you use Spotify, check out the Spotify playlist that I've got linked down there, because I update that with every single album that I talk about on my New Metal Monday videos. But if you don't have Spotify, I have also included the band's Bandcamp links, just so you guys can find the music that I'm talking about as easily as possible. Thank you all so much for your support. I really do appreciate you all as always, and I will see you very soon in my next video.